My knees. Oh, how they used to ache. I am 72 years young, and for a long time knee pain was my unwelcome companion. It started subtly, just a little twinge here, a slight stiffness there. I thought perhaps it was just a part of getting older, but this was no ordinary ache. It grew. It became a persistent throb, a sharp protest with every step I tried to take. Mornings were the toughest. Getting out of bed felt like climbing a mountain. The simple act of standing up required so much effort and brought so much discomfort. It was a constant reminder that my body was not working with me anymore. This pain changed everything about my daily life. I used to love my morning walks in the park. The birds, the fresh air, the friendly faces, these were my joys. But the knee pain stole them. Each step became a calculation. Could I make it to the next bench? Would the pain flare up too much? Even simple chores around the house like carrying laundry or groceries became monumental tasks. I found myself saying no to so many things. No to playing with my grandchildren in the garden. No to little trips with my friends. My world started to feel smaller, confined by the limits my painful knees set for me. The emotional burden was heavy too. Feeling like a burden to my family was a terrible thought. I tried not to show how much it hurt, but sometimes the pain was too strong to hide. I felt frustrated. I felt isolated. Sometimes I even felt a little bit hopeless. Was this how the rest of my life was going to be? Just sitting and watching life go by? The vibrant, active person I once was seemed to be fading away. This constant discomfort chipped away at my spirit, making even cheerful moments feel a little dull around the edges because the pain was always there, a dull background noise. I remember one day very clearly. My granddaughter had her school play. I was so excited to go. But just getting from the car to the school auditorium was an ordeal. Every single step sent a jolt of pain through my knees. I had to stop so many times. I felt embarrassed. I felt defeated. By the time I reached my seat, I was exhausted and fighting back tears, not just from the pain, but from the sheer effort of it all. I missed a part of her performance because I was so focused on my aching knees. That was a turning point for me. I knew something had to change. My doctor was very kind. He listened to my complaints. He looked at my x-rays. Then he told me the news I was dreading. He said, "You have severe osteoarthritis. Surgery is probably your best option." He explained about knee replacement surgery. He talked about the recovery time and the potential benefits. I listened carefully. I knew he wanted to help me. He believed surgery would give me back my mobility. He showed me models of artificial knee joints and explained the procedure in detail, trying to reassure me about its success rates and the relief it could bring to someone in my condition. But the thought of surgery scared me. I was 72. The idea of going under anesthesia, the long hospital stay, the painful rehabilitation, it all felt overwhelming. What if something went wrong? What if the recovery was too hard for me at my age? I had heard stories from friends who had surgery. Some had wonderful results. Others had faced complications or found the recovery very difficult and much longer than they expected. The risks, even if small, felt very big to me. I worried about losing my independence during the recovery period, and the thought of relying heavily on others was not appealing. So I asked my doctor, "Are there any other options? Anything I can try before we consider surgery?" He mentioned some pain medications and injections, but he seemed to believe surgery was the ultimate answer for the level of damage in my knees. I went home feeling a bit disheartened, but also determined. I wasn't ready to give up on finding a less invasive way. I started to think, there must be something else I can do. I wanted to explore every possible avenue before committing to such a major operation. My body had served me well for over 7 decades. Perhaps it still had the capacity to heal if I gave it the right support. That night, I couldn't sleep much. I kept thinking about my options. I decided I owed it to myself to try natural solutions first. I wanted to give my body a chance to heal itself if possible. I felt a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, I could find a way to manage this pain without going under the knife. This decision felt empowering. It was my body, my choice. I resolved to research, to learn, and to be proactive about my health. The journey ahead felt uncertain, but the thought of avoiding surgery gave me a strong sense of purpose and a renewed determination to seek out alternatives. My journey began with very gentle movements. I knew I couldn't jump into strenuous exercise. My physical therapist suggested water aerobics. The water supported my weight, so it was much easier on my knees. I started going to the local pool 3 times a week. At first, even that felt like a challenge, but slowly I began to enjoy it. The warm water was soothing, and the gentle exercises helped improve my flexibility without causing more pain. I also learned some simple stretches to do at home every morning and evening. These were not complicated, just slow, mindful movements to keep my joints from stiffening up too much and to encourage blood flow. Alongside the gentle exercises, I explored other therapies. I found that applying a warm compress to my knees before I did my stretches helped to loosen them up. Sometimes, if they felt particularly inflamed after a bit more activity than usual, a cold pack would bring some relief. My daughter also taught me some very gentle massage techniques for the muscles around my knees, not on the joint itself, but the thighs and calves. This seemed to help relax the tension that was probably making the pain worse. I made sure to listen to my body. If something felt wrong, I stopped or modified it. This careful attention was key. Diet became a big focus for me. I read a lot about foods that can cause inflammation and foods that can help fight it. I started to eat more fruits and vegetables, especially berries and leafy greens. I added more healthy fats to my diet, like avocados and nuts, and made sure to include sources of omega-3 fatty acids, like salmon. I cut down significantly on processed foods, sugar, and red meat, which I learned could contribute to inflammation in the body. I also made a conscious effort to drink more water throughout the day. It sounds simple, but these dietary shifts made a noticeable difference in how I felt overall, not just in my knees. Lifestyle changes also played their part in my healing. I made sure to get enough sleep, as I learned that our bodies do a lot of repairing during rest. I tried to manage stress better, sometimes through deep breathing exercises or by spending quiet time reading or listening to calming music. I became more mindful of my posture, whether I was sitting or standing, trying to avoid putting unnecessary strain on my knees. Even small things, like choosing supportive shoes, made a difference. It wasn't just one magic bullet, it was a combination of all these small, consistent changes that started to create a big shift in my well-being. Slowly but surely, I started to feel better. The constant throbbing pain began to subside. It didn't happen overnight, of course. It took weeks, then months of sticking to my new routine. But one day, I realized I had gotten out of bed without that immediate sharp pain. Then I noticed I could walk a little further in the park without needing to rest. The swelling in my knees went down. I could bend them more easily. The change was gradual, like the sun rising slowly in the morning, but it was definitely happening. I felt stronger, more stable on my feet. The fear of falling lessened considerably. My life started to open up again. I could play with my grandchildren. I could kneel down, carefully, to plant flowers in my garden again, something I had missed so much. Those morning walks, they are back on my schedule and I cherish every step. I can go grocery shopping without dreading the walk through the aisles. I even went on a small trip with my friends recently and I kept up with them. The joy of reclaiming these simple pleasures is immense. It's not just about being pain-free. It's about getting my life back, my independence and my happiness. My energy levels are up and my mood is so much brighter. If you are struggling with knee pain, please don't lose hope. My advice is to start small. You don't have to do everything at once. Try 1 or 2 gentle exercises. Make one small change to your diet. Listen carefully to your body. It will tell you what works and what doesn't. Be patient with yourself. Healing takes time, especially when you are doing it naturally. Talk to your doctor, of course, but also explore options like physical therapy, nutrition advice, and other gentle approaches. Remember that what worked for me might need to be adapted for you, but the principle of gentle, consistent effort is key. Most importantly, believe that you can feel better. Surgery is not the only answer for everyone. Your body has an amazing ability to heal if you give it the right support and care. There is hope for a life with less pain, more movement, and more joy, even if you are in your 70s, 80s, or beyond. Don't let knee pain define your later years. Take that first step, however small it may seem. You are stronger than you think, and a more comfortable, active life could be waiting for you. You deserve to live your life to the fullest, without pain holding you back.